out of nowhere, literally a Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere. Rumors break that Tim Tebow, at 33, 34 years old now, has decided that he wants to now move to tight end and go try out for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about this?
How old is he again?
I think he's 34.
This is so stupid. Listen, I like anyone who knows me from high school would tell you, I'm the biggest Tim Tebow fan, especially when he was on the Broncos. I liked him before he was on the Broncos, but like as a Broncos fan and everything he did for us, like the most exciting quarterback play we had in a while. Was it great? No, not really, but it was super exciting. Every single game, it was a thrill to watch. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. 34-year-old quarterback who just retired from baseball wants to play tight end, if this is even true, wants to play tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars to go play for Urban Meyer again, who he played for in college at Florida.
Yep.
There's so many guys in the NFL who have been playing tight end for so long. And you like I don't know if he thinks he can or if someone asked him to and he was like, okay, whatever, I don't care. But like there's no way that works, right?
I don't think so. I think
he'd get killed.
I do too. I mean, number one, he's like 34 years old, if
Right.
that's correct. I know he's above 33 for sure.
Let me look while you talk.
And, it's, my thing is this, if you look at Tim Tebow strikes me as the guy, he likes to try to inspire, and this is kind of what this feels like. I feel like this is just throwing mud up against the wall just to kind of see what sticks. Maybe try to inspire somebody to have another piece of the story to say, hey, you guys can do whatever you want to do in life. You can be whatever you want to be in life. And it's just like, what's really alarming to me is you hear people like Shannon Sharp. You hear people like Ryan Clark that are coming down pretty hard on Tim Tebow for doing this, which is alarming to me because usually the NFL, players have each other's backs. It's almost like, you don't break that bond, right? That brotherly bond that you have in between those lines, you don't break that. And to hear, former NFL players who are of a pretty illustrious status, I would say especially somebody like a Shannon Sharp, who's a top 5 tight end of all time, saying this is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I think that speaks volumes, and I agree. I don't know how he thinks this is going to work. There are so many more qualified tight ends in the league than Tim Tebow.
Sure.
I just don't understand this. This is so confusing to me.
Yeah, again, I'm not even sure how true it is. Like, if it's even real. Maybe there was a conversation that happened about it, like a second, like for like a split, like someone like across the meeting table, like, hey, how funny would it be if we had Tim Tebow at tight end? And then that was it. And then everyone's like, oh, they're going to sign Tim Tebow. It's not, nothing, I don't think anything's going to come of it. I think it is very funny. And now with numbers the way they are, he can still wear his 15 and play tight end.
And you want to know what's kind of crazy? I actually see him being in shoulder pads and a helmet again. I think at the very least, this is going to be a great publicity stunt for Urban Meyer, for Tim Tebow, for the Jacksonville Jaguars to get eyes on their team, especially with a new quarterback, that they're trying to get their footing again in the NFL because they've been a dumpster fire since they went to the AFC Championship game back in, 17? So, I actually, crazy enough as it is to say, I think he actually ends up in shoulder pads and a helmet. Does he make the team? I have no idea.
So I decided, like, hey, well, we're talking about how, like, people, there are already competent tight ends in the NFL. It doesn't sound like the Jacksonville Jaguars have any of them. Let me know if any of these names sound familiar to you. I think one will. Two might. Tyler Davis, Ben Ellefson, Luke Farrell.
Yep.
That sounds familiar. Chris Manhertz. That sounds familiar to me. I don't know if it does to you.
It
and
does.
James O'Shaughnessy.
That sounds familiar as well. James O'Shaughnessy. He played for, I think, FSU in college. He was
None of
always
those
the
guys.
white dude that wore no gloves.
None of those guys are anyone that you'd say, like, oh, we got a playmaker at tight end. So I can kind of see, like, throwing him in the tight end room, seeing how he competes with guys in camp, and if he does well, then great. If not, then okay, no harm, no foul, I guess. You sell a few Tim Tebow jerseys in the offseason, then he doesn't even make the team. So I mean, go for it. But I mean, you don't really have a playmaker at tight end anyway, so you might as well try somebody unique and different if you want to.
Listen,
I don't know if it'll work.
I feel like you're
Granted,
kind of...
like if he can do it, like everyone said the same thing about him in baseball, right? Like people have been playing baseball for so long, you think you could just jump into baseball and be good? And Tim Tebow was like, "Yeah, I can," and he was good. He wasn't great. He wasn't like we're gonna call you up to the MLB good, but he was good. He was good. So I see no. I'm always of the thought process of, got nothing to lose. Why not? If he's bad in training camp, you cut him. And then you cut Tim Tebow like every other team has since Denver, and then you call it a day. And he does have experience on the special team side of the ball, being like a what do you call it? I don't even know what it's called, but the position he played in New York for the Jets, and the position Taysom Hill plays for special teams.
Right, sure.
For the Saints. He has that experience, and that's a valuable position to have, I guess, if you have him as like your third tight end and you put him in and plug and play systems, and he's looking for the thrill of playing football again, and just wants to wear the shoulder pads and helmet, and he's competent. I see no reason why not. I don't understand why people got to be so mean about it. Granted, I think it's silly, but I'm not going to go on national TV and say Tim Tebow's so stupid. Like, all right, relax. Like, all right, Shannon Sharp and Ryan Clark.
You know, I see it from both sides, right? Because it, in a sense, you know, it is disrespectful. This reminds me a lot of, like, Jake Paul in boxing, right? The dude is not a boxer.
He's good, though.
Jake Paul, he sucks. He hasn't faced any real boxer. He's trash. He's trash. Get him against a real boxer, he's getting slept.
He hasn't lost yet.
He hasn't faced a boxer yet either.
Listen, I'm just saying. I'm of the thought of I'm not gonna knock somebody who wants to put in the work and give it a shot. So like, and again, I don't see why it would be disrespectful for Tim Tebow to say, "Yeah, I'll play tight end. Put on shoulder pads, go try out in training camp, does well in training camp, does well in the preseason, makes a roster spot." What's disrespectful about that?
I think
he's playing the position and he plays it well. If he plays it well, who cares? He can ball.
And
so,
I think
but
part
if
of it,
if he shows up and he stinks, then it's like, all right, get off the field, stooge. Like no one cares. So I think maybe it's because he's only getting a shot because his name is Tim Tebow. Is that the thought?
I think that's part of it. I think the other part of it is that, you know, you got to look at it from people like a Shannon Sharp or a Tony Gonzalez or a Rob Gronkowski or a Travis Kelce or George Kittle. You know, people of that nature, you know, who have dedicated their entire lives to that one position to make it known, to make it well. It's almost like this guy was a quarterback, didn't succeed like he wanted to, went to go play baseball, didn't succeed like he wanted to. Now he's going to come in here and try to play our position. I think that's where, and I don't feel that way personally.
No,
I really don't give a shit, to be honest. I think it's kind of cool, actually. But
I think guys who have that mentality on their position are a little stuck up, to be honest. If you have that mentality on your position, like, you had a great career. Congratulations, Shannon Sharp. You're a Hall of Famer. Excellent. Top 5 tight end in NFL history. No doubt. How does Tim Tebow... I think of it like... So, I teach 5th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of my kids comes up to me the other day and goes, so-and-so, when he was taking the test, was just sitting there picking his nose, not doing anything. And I was like, okay. And he's like, what do you mean, okay? Like he's sitting there, he's not doing anything, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, how does that affect you? If someone else doesn't want to, you know, do whatever you're doing, you do you, and don't worry about somebody else. Mind your business, right? And if a guy like Shannon Sharp is going to get all upset, well, Tim Tebow was a quarterback, and then he played the MLB, and now he just wants to come in and play tight end? Yeah. What's that got to do with you? Oh my gosh, did you hear that?
Is that thunder? I thought that's what that was. Hey, dude, it was just Randy down here, too. But no, I'm with you. I think at the end of the day, I think it's cool. Hey, listen, I'm never going to knock somebody's dream. If that's what you want to do, go do it, man. I'll support you tooth and nail because I don't want anybody trying to step on me. So I'm not gonna step on anybody. So I like it. Hey, have fun. Good luck.
That's it.
Hopefully
if
it
he's
works
good, he's
out.
good. If he's not, he's not.
That's it. That's it.